Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we'll be making this 4-pocket mini album. It's a 4x4 mini album, and again it has 4 pockets in it. And each of the pockets has a little tag that you can pull out and add another sentiment, embellishment, etc. I found this idea several years ago from Fabulously Artsy video. Thanks for sharing it. And we made it yesterday at my team meeting. And now I'll share it with all of you on how to make it. So let's get started. The base of the book is made by taking a piece of 12x12 cardstock and cutting it into 3 strips of a 4x12. So you've got 3 strips out of one piece of 12x12 cardstock. And we need 2 pieces of cardstock cut at 4x6. With our Simply Scored scoring tool and the 12 inches along the top place, we want to score every 4 inches. So we're going to score at 4 inches and at 8. Oops, make sure that one's good. And we'll do that on 2 of the strips. So again, at 2 of them at 4 and at 8. And then on the 3rd piece of cardstock, we want to score it at 2, 6, and 10. So 2, 6, and 10 on the 3rd one. For our pieces of 4x6, we want to score both of them at 2 inches. So I've got the 6 inch along the top of the scoring tool and score both of them at 2 inches. And now we're ready to start assembling. So what we want to do next is, using the cardstock that we scored at 4 and at 8, we've got the 4-inch sections here. We want to take our piece of 4x6 cardstock that we scored at 2 inches, and we want to apply snail adhesive, and we want to make sure that we're getting right along that score line as well as along the edges. Want nice, good, secure, I guess just make sure it's nice and secure. A tip that I like to do, and this was one of Devette's, it was brilliant, is you can take the edge of your 4-inch cardstock and put it right along the fold line or the score line and line it up and press it. And we want to flip it over because we want to be working on this side. Okay, so now we've got, basically it's a little extension that we added to get another 4-inch square. I went ahead and did that on the other cardstock that we had scored at 4 and at 8. And, oops, now I'm going to pull up the camera here. I don't know if I'll have a wide enough opportunity. Okay, there we go. And so now I'm going to take our 3rd piece of cardstock that we scored at 2, 6, and 10, and the same thing with these 2-inch flaps, only this time we're going to put them on the other end that doesn't have an extension on it. So again, I'm going to take my snail adhesive and I'm going to put it on the 2-inch score section here. And this is going to be added to this square here. We want to make sure that all of these little flaps that we're adding are on the same side, meaning that here's the extension and here's the extension. Okay, so now we're going to take the 2nd 2-inch here, and I want that flap to be on the top, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have adhesive on what's basically the back side here. Oops. There we go. So again, we always put adhesive on the 2-inch scored sections. And I guess the best way of explaining it is that the 2-inch section is always our little add-on so that we can make sure that we get, it's just a tab to help connect it. Okay, so now when we're done, we should have this long piece of cardstock. We've extended our cardstock. And what I want to do is start on the right-hand side. And this is going to start making our album. What we want to do is fold it such so that it opens up like the hinge of a book, so that your fold line is on the left-hand side. And now fan fold the rest. Whoops. Okay, so I'll do that again. That was out of shot. Okay, so you've got your, again, you got your score line on the right-hand side, and I'm fan folding the rest. Okay, so now this is your chance of trying to make sure that it's all matched up here. And actually we'll have another opportunity. But now when you have your book, so this is, you know, when you open it up, it should start, you know, you should not see any of the 2-inch extensions that we had on it. So any of those flaps that we added, you should not see it. And if you've done that, you know, it's right. If not, you want to stop and do your fan fold again so that when you open it up like a book, that you don't see any of those 2 inches. Okay, so now this is ready to go. Now we're going to start putting our book together even more so. Okay, so what we want to do is with, again, the fold line of the first cardstock here on our left, we want to open it to the right now. And what we're going to do is put adhesives on, like if you have this opened up, it's always going to be on the right side, and we're going to make a backwards L with our adhesive. Okay, so again with my snail, I'm going to go down the edge, make my backwards L, and then I'm going to close my book. So I've got my adhesive on. Now I'm going to bring the pages together. Okay. Okay, so now I've got that onto that adhesive. I'm going to open it up again. I don't know if you can see that, but here's another seam, and that's good. We're working on the back side of it. Make my backwards L. You want to make sure that you put your backwards L on the same, on this way, because this is making our pockets. And again, we can close this up. Here's another one of my seams. I know I'm working on the correct side to do the adhesives. The right side of this little book when it's open, make my backwards L. Close it up. And this is where it's kind of important to try to line up the edges as best as possible too. And one more on the right side, backwards L. You could do this with sticky strip. It just would take forever. And I found that this, in this case, snail holds up pretty darn well. So now when we turn our book over to the front again, now when we open it up, we've got our little book. Exciting. And you should have 4 pockets. Okay, so we've got our book created. Now it's a matter of decorating it. What I will show you is I like making these little notches out of our out of the pockets. So what I do is I take a punch. In this case, it's 1 1/4 inch hole punch, and you want to make sure that you're working on the pocket side. So here's the pocket, and for the first one, we want to get it centered, and we're only going to cut out half of the circle. And then this will be our guide for the following ones. So we'll punch. Woohoo! There they go. And taking one of the half moons that get popped out, and with some removable adhesive, what we want to do is we can use that as a guide for the rest of our tabs. So I can put this down, and then I'm going to pop that up. And now this is the guide. Whoops, do that again. I didn't get that straight. There we go. And now this is the guide for my next one. And what we're doing is we're positioning it so that all of our tabs line up at the same spot. Okay, so again, I'll open up my second pocket, line up where the guide is at, and punch. And you do that with all of your pockets. Okay, now it's time to put on a little ribbon, and we'll start decorating. So I have a piece of 24 inches of coral, Calypso coral ruffled ribbon, and get the halfway mark of the ribbon. Kind of pinch it a little bit and open it up. That way I know where the halfway mark is. And with my book, I'm going to put, like right down the middle, a strip of snail adhesive. And let's see here, I think that's it. Double check yep, pretty close. And line up my ribbon. Put that down, flip it over, and I'll go ahead and secure the back side of the ribbon on our book. All right, awesome. Now to make kind of the cover borders, or the cover mat, this is in Pool Party. I cut another 4x4 piece of cardstock for both the front and the back, and I'm going to cover that over top of my coral. And I want to make sure I get good coverage on the sides again. There we go. Had so much fun making these with my team gals yesterday. I wanted to make them with my out-of-state team members, and I've been trying new online services. I tried, kind of like the Skype and the Spreecast, and we always have technical difficulties. So, sorry girls, thanks for trying to log on. And then what I want to do is just go ahead and cover the front and back with my cover color. Oops, that one wasn't on there. Really squared up. So now we have our little book. And what I did next is, basically you can just start to decorate it with whatever theme that you would like to have. This is the new Epic Day paper. It's from, right now it's available through the end of April, and then it'll be again available the beginning of June. It's going to be in the new 2013-14 Stampin' Up! Catalog. And so this is what, and again, it is part of the This and That bundle, but this is what the paper looks like. And I thought it made for a super cute paper palette for this project. So the paper size that I used here is a 3 3/4 inch square. And for the pockets are a 3 by 3.5, and I notched out some of the corners for a little different look. And taking the same punch and coordinating colors, you can make a tab, and I put it on either side of the cardstock. So let's do those. So to do your lining, again, it's what I used is a 3 1/4 inch square. And, oh, let's use that side. Well, I used all of the sides, but let's use the honeycomb side. It's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to put adhesive on the back side. That's what's great with the designer paper. It's two-sided, and you get all sorts of different choices then for coordinating projects like what we're doing here today. Alrighty, we'll put that on. And I'm just kind of putting it around like I'm matting it. And you want to do just one side at a time, because when you do that, we can notch it out again. So we want to get that notch out, and by putting the designer paper on just one side at a time, you can always see your little guide. Okay, so Now our designer paper's on there, and you would just do that. You keep going one at a time through all of your pockets. And then here's my pocket insert. Again, it's a 3 by 3.5. And if you want to, you can notch out the corners. I have an old corner punch or ticket corner punch from Stampin' Up! That I still love to use. You know, you could do this with other corner punches or whatever other, or round out the corners, which I've done in some. So there's the pocket kind of decorated. And I've got my 1 1/4 inch circles punched for my tabs. Again, I need 2 of them because I want them to be, you know, kind of sandwiched between. So there's that one. Then I'll come over, and as you saw, I put adhesive on both sides, match it up, and now I've got my cute little tab. And since I used the same circle punch, this is going to nest right into our pocket. So open up my pocket a little more. There we go. So cute. So now when I pull that out, and it sits right in there. And again, just decorate it however you like. I'm so loving this Feel Goods stamp set, and I did a little spotlighting on where it says sunshine. And now I'm all ready to go to give this as a gift. I think what this is going to be is my goddaughter's graduation card, because it says those that bring sunshine into the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves, and she's just a real special young lady for me. Okay, hope you enjoyed making your little 4x4 pocket mini album. It's so much fun and fun to give. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.